Greetings, Beyond fans. It's me, Max Scoville. We've got a really special giveaway for you on today's episode of Beyond. For the details on that, here is a quick message from our sponsors before we get to the show. Beyond!
Thanks, Max. And yep, this holiday season, World of Tanks and IGN is bringing you a special giveaway. You'll have a chance to win a PlayStation 4 and some World of Tanks goodies. To enter, head to this super festive link, go.ign.com/Beyond giveaway. All one word. And if you want to try World of Tanks, it's completely free to download for PS4, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. So come celebrate the holidays with IGN and World of Tanks. Warm wishes to you all. Back to you guys.
We got a great email. Justin McConnell wrote in. First of all, if you're watching this as a standalone clip on IGN, check out the full episode on youtube.com/IGN Beyond. Anyway, Justin McConnell wrote in, says, as a father of human sponges, I find it hard to play most modern non-Nintendo games in my living room due to language or over-the-top violence. Just last year, I was playing through Firewatch for the first time, or just last night, and I got to hear my 3-year-old repeat some of Delilah's colorful dialogue to my wife. My kids like to spend time with me while I play games or play with me, but the only PS4 games I really ever feel safe playing with them are things like Ratchet & Clank or Rocket League. Do you think that Sony is missing out by not offering more big family-friendly first-party developed games? Obviously, the holidays are a time for spending time with family, whether that means having annoying little cousins running around and being like, what are you playing? I want to watch, or having old people walking by the TV and being shocked when you're shooting somebody in the face. So, you know, maybe if this is a time, if you're gaming around other people of different ages and walks of life, that we could, you know, talk about some of the stuff that's more inclusive for everybody. Yeah. Obviously,
where do we insert the Knack 2 joke? I just want to know.
That's actually the.
I mean, Knack is honestly something I bet if you played around a kid, I bet a kid would like the first Knack.
Yeah, actually, I think Seth Macy told me that his kids really enjoy Knack. He freelances for IGN a lot of the time.
What's up, Seth?
Yeah. What's up, Seth? Yeah. The thing is, I think there are better games that the children could be playing.
First things first, Ratchet & Clank is a fantastic, fun for all ages game. That's like playing I mean, it's weird because they did make a big cartoon movie of it, and the game was still kind of a better cartoon movie.
Yeah, it does that Pixar thing where like there are jokes that you're going to laugh at that are going to be totally fine for your kids to hear, even though they don't understand the double entendre.
Yeah. Lego anything. They've got, at this point, they're kind of going through the roster of just games that are things that kids like. I love the Marvel superheroes one. The Star Wars ones are fantastic. Harry Potter.
Lego City Undercover is coming to PS4, and that's awesome. Also, I played. I'll talk about this real quick. I played Lego Worlds at PSX. That game is awesome. It's coming to consoles. It's been on PC for a little while. It's basically an open world Minecraft style building game, but with a health bar. So you can kind of like mess around with it and play it sort of like single player-y, or you can play 4-player couch co-op. You can import people's brick by brick creations into your own game.
That's
so
really
somebody
cool.
can make like a house or like the Millennium Falcon and just drop it in there. You can get a gun that shoots horses.
I mean,
I don't mean kills them. I mean, it like shoots actual horses out.
Horses come out of the gun.
What noise does it make when they shoot out? Is it like a foomp? Or is it like a
it's more like a foomp and less like
not like a nay or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
Well,
it's really cool.
Well, you're on the Minecrafty type stuff. Dragon Quest Builders.
Totally.
That's a delightful game that I don't think a lot of people played. And that's a shame.
Also, while you're on the Minecraft stuff, Minecraft.
Also Terraria, which is like 2D Minecraft. I wanted to give a shout out to Disney Infinity, which I think kind of gets the short end of the stick. That's kind of dead.
Which means it's crazy cheap to get those.
It is stupid cheap. If you've got kids and you got a PS4 or a PS3, or really, I think it's on pretty much every platform. Check Amazon for that, because you can get like a version 2.0 starter kit for like $10, and that includes like, I don't know, a Brave figurine, and there's like a Marvel superheroes one for $20. So if you're like, gift giving for younger gamers, that's a really awesome choice.
Also, I was at Disneyland recently, and they have the saddest little Disney Infinity corner now. Really? They're all segregated off on their own in a sad little clearance corner.
Well, the good thing is like if your kids are like the obsessive collector types, this is a great game for them, because there's a finite amount of those figures out there, and they're all dirt cheap. If they get into Skylanders, you're screwed.
Well, until they pull the plug on Skylanders.
But Skylanders, like also even like Skylanders year by year is still like a super solid game. Alana always reviews them for us. She really liked Imaginators. I think that was this year.
Imaginators lets you customize your own. Skylanders.
And they're like actual good Diablo games.
Disney Infinity. I think it's really easy to look at that and be like, oh, this is a dumb game for kids. This is shovelware, whatever. It's totally not. That was developed by like Ninja Theory, who did Devil May Cry. They did the sword mechanics for the prequel Star Wars stuff, and then there's like. The guys who did Sleeping Dogs did this kind of like Marvel superhero Super Smash Brothers type thing, and I think the only thing that doesn't work on that is sort of the online functionality with like sandbox mode. But that's like that is like it makes me wish I had kids so I could play it with them. But I should probably just
If only he had an excuse to buy more Star Wars.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
One of these days.
Skylanders, obviously, Little Big Planet and Tearaway are both wonderful.
Yeah, Tearaway.
Tearaway.
Yeah, what is it? What's it called? Like the Tearaway,
Unfolded.
Unfolded, Big Picture Edition or whatever.
Yep.
Minecraft Terraria, we talked about that. Towerfall is like kind of like an 8-bit Smash Bros type thing.
Yeah, Towerfall is one of the best games on PlayStation 4 still. The Ouya's entire existence was justified by Towerfall. Ouya.
Well, what's happening
You
here?
remember the Ouya?
Yeah, you're just saying it like a weird dude.
Ouya.
How are you supposed to say it?
Not like Francis
Why was that your
McDormand
hang up
in
and not the
Fargo.
fact that he says that its existence was justified by one game?
Yeah, and that was Towerfall, which
That was the
eventually
one I
came
was
to
taking
PS4.
the
What
problem
about
with.
that frog game?
There was that
Insert
frog game.
Knack 2 joke here. There's the Knack 2 joke.
Okay, there we go.
We mentioned it, Stardew Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one to play with your kids around.
Someone just wrote sports.
Yeah, well, I put that in there. Because sports games are another thing you can play often with your kids, and if not, the question in his original letter is, hey, what can I play with my kids around?
Yeah.
Well, sports games are
no one's
all
gonna do a
kind of
hard
inherently G-rated, and a lot of them are really fun.
What are you talking about? Those men all use drugs and get in trouble.
Remember that one NFL game
Fight
that came,
dogs.
remember the NFL game that came out where like people would take drugs?
Yeah.
They had like a story about it. It wasn't NFL
weird.
licensed. But
I think I remember this.
Yeah,
It
it was
wasn't Geez, I remember this game.
Bad boys.
Windjammers. That's coming up soon. That's a frisbee game.
That is the frisbee game.
Okay.
That game is so good. That is the greatest event to come out of PSX was the announcement of Windjammers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Move over, Last of Us Part 2.
I would rather play Windjammers than The Last of Us any day of the week.
What?
The game's in.
Well, you can't.
Hey, do me a favor
Neo
and quit
Geo
your
emulator.
job.
All right. Fighting games, question mark. Obviously, Mortal Kombat has people's spines getting ripped out, so maybe skip that one. But something like Marvel vs. Capcom or Street Fighter V.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
They're pretty vanilla. It's kind of like just playing Dragon Ball Z. So
Yeah, and A Boy and His Blob was in there too. That's a great
Boy and His
PS4.
Blob,
That's
yes.
on PS4 now, and that's a wonderful game to play with your kids.
Yeah.
There's Rez. Unless your children are frightened by colors and polygons, that's probably
Rez is a
safe
game
bet.
about conception.
Yeah.
You're a little sperm trying to get to an egg.
It is about that. That's
Just
fair.
a heads up though, PSVR is not meant for people under 12.
Yeah.
So be careful with that.
Can you play that offline? or
Yeah,
is
play that.
Yeah,
play
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Play that.
But what's the point? It's
Yeah.
awesome in VR.
Oh,
if
the
you're
area
12 and you're
stuff.
listening to this, sneak downstairs and put on Daddy's VR helmet and go blind. It's so cool.
Am I allowed to say Battlefront is on there? Battlefront, what is that? Is that T-rated?
Yeah,
Is it
probably.
M-rated or is it?
I don't know about that, man. That's the game about running
Who
around
wrote that?
shooting people.
Yeah, it's still a first person.
Technically,
shooter.
Uncharted's T-rated too.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that.
Final Fantasy 15's language is very mild and violence generally isn't too nasty, though it can be scary. It's also an incredibly dense, systems-heavy RPG, and it's, I was, playing Final Fantasy 6 with friends when I was in 4th grade, so maybe that's a thing. But
it's fine.
you can also put on subtitles, and if your kids don't speak Japanese, they don't know what's going
so
on.
we
What's
must,
that? Hey, there we go.
Yeah, I put the section for artsy-fartsy but generally G-rated games such as Journey, which is about scarf people who don't stab anything.
or Flower or Flow.
Yeah, there's those two. There's The Witness, which is very difficult, but beautiful and quiet and peaceful and all that. Proteus is one of my favorites. It's not really a game. It's kind of a weird, psychedelic thing. But you could probably put that in the hands of a 3-year-old and see what they do. You just walk around, look for an owl.
Yep.
And there's Abzu, which is what happens if Scarf Boy from Journey went under the sea.
Yeah.
The Witness again, because clearly we're having a great productive day here at IGN.com. The Last Guardian?
Yeah, I think you could. I think you could.
Yeah, if you've
How
got that.
old's a kid?
I don't know. There's no actual child here. I'm just saying, like, hypothetically.
Well, again, the idea is you're playing it with them in the room. His original question
Yeah.
wasn't just what can I play with my kid. It's what can I play with my kid in
I
the
think
room.
you could. I think you can, if you can handle that horse
They
dying in the
beat the
never-ending
hell
story.
out of that poor dog.
If you can handle that horse dying in the never-ending story, then you can handle that.
Yeah, I mean,
All
there's
right,
still
well,
a lot of spears.
that's that whole like logic of like, oh, are we talking about like what's safe for kids in 2016 or what was safe for kids when we were kids? You know? Like because we also had like the kids in the Goonies saying like stuff that you will get fired for saying
really
in
should
2016.
say, but that horse drowned because he was so sad, and that was the worst. Like,
No, he drowned because there was mud.
it was
and
mud,
you shouldn't make a horse
but
swim
he
in
lost
mud.
hope. He lost hope, and then he sank.
Also, it was German filmmakers, and those guys are crazy.
Yeah, they let the kids have wine over there. That's crazy. This is America.
Isn't that guy
Give
in a
that
dust
child a
boat?
small rifle
Yeah.
and no health care. Anyway, I also put difficult but simple. Broken Age, probably kind of dense, but super colorful and cute.
honestly, any Double Fine adventure
Yeah.
game like Grim Fandango,
old school adventure stuff.
Data Tentacle.
And then Spelunky, which is like, I mean, that's I would say the closest thing to like Super Mario World you get on on PSN.
Yeah.
What blood there is all kind of cartoonish and funny.
It's cute. And then there's Shovel Knight, which is you're a knight. The night of the shovels.
And we're getting more stuff next year with the Crash Collection and with
I was gonna
stuff
say,
like Parappa.
I was gonna say there's a bunch of like PS1 and PS2 classics you can get to like that were remastered or stuff and ported and stuff. Like even stuff like Ape Escape is on there. Like if you
there's some wonderful stuff.
Dig around like some classic games, and that's like cool thing too is like I'm not gonna tell you how to be a dad or a mom or whatever, but if you have a kid and you want to be like, this is what I used to play growing up, like give it a shot. I think that's really cool to sort of introduce somebody into something that they probably wouldn't have found anyway.
Another secret benefit of Shovel Knight, which was the last one we had to before to the classics, was that you have all the cheat codes, so you can do cool things for your kid, like make him gigantic or make him invincible, or let him, and that's cool too. So you can play around and just change the game up constantly.
It's also a good way to teach a kid about retro games you might have grown up on without like breaking out old hardware or making them put up with something that's really old and obtuse, because that is an awesome just sort of like mixtape of just cool ideas that we grew up with in the 80s and 90s. I love Shovel Knight.
Shovel Knight is one of the best video games to be released like while I worked here.
And the last one I want to talk about in Resident Evil 7, it's about a family who makes love to the dead.
That's true.
So maybe don't play that one, but
let it die.
I think it's very easy to look at the PlayStation lineup and be like, this is not enough stuff here for kids. And like, I mean, Sony's kind of they're less big on first party stuff, I think, in general. They're not making. I mean, they got Knack 2 on the way, but they've also got the Little Big Planet, the Saki Boys. They got Parappa the Rappa. There's a bunch of cutesy stuff and Ratchet and Clank. Like, we obviously listed off a bunch of stuff there. And this is also like these are good games. This isn't just stuff that's good for babies. This is like an actually,
Yeah, these are wonderful games. Yeah. Did you guys ever play games when you were kids that like you totally shouldn't have been playing?
Are you
like,
joking?
That you were way too
of course.
Like Night Trap.
Night Trap?
Yeah, I played Night Trap at my friend's house.
Right, but like, did you find Night Trap like threatening?
I didn't know what was happening until like a year or two later. I read an article about how there was like a lot of bad stuff happening in that game.
Okay.
I mean, I was playing Duke Nukem 3D when I was like 11, maybe. I don't know.
I also played Pit Fighter as a kid, which I knew like that game wasn't really bad, but I knew there was something weird and like it took place in like an underground like Taiwanese subterfuge where a bunch of dudes were just like getting drunk and smoking and hitting women and stuff.
The most terrifying thing about that game was the control.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Also, we're 472 episodes in the show, and I think that's the first time anyone said subterfuge.
That's my new thing. I'm gonna start doing that a lot in 2017.
Just saying words and hoping that they fit.
Yep.
All right.
Juxtapose.
That's definitely not my new thing.
Yeah. Onomatopoeia.